Hey, you ever stop and think, wow, that would make a great story? Same here. On Cat Stories, we pull together short tales from life that'll make you laugh, think, or just go, yep, been there. My name's Kathleen and let's get started. And for our next post, am I the idiot for taking my boyfriend to urgent care and almost getting him kicked out of his house? I 16F and my boyfriend 17M, let's call him Ashton, have been dating for 5 months. We have both been sick on and off for the past 2 weeks. I got better, but my boyfriend has only been getting worse. His throat has swollen up to the point he can't talk anymore and he has had a fever for at least a week. I talked to my parents and they said he needs to go in and see a doctor because if it's strep it could spread to his heart or kidneys. So I told him we need to go to urgent care and get tested. His family is lower income, so I offered to pay for all expenses. His mom was against going to the doctor. I didn't know she wanted him to just take Tylenol and rest. I pushed for the doctor and he left without telling his mom. He picked me up and we went to urgent care. We checked and I talked to the nurse. She said we needed parental consent before they did any test. I had called beforehand and asked if a minor could come in for a testing and they said nothing about parental consent for anything, so Ashton called his mom and handed me the phone. Since he can't speak, so I asked his mom if she could give consent for the strep test. She hung up on me as soon as I asked, so we called his dad next. No answer. The nurse told us we should go to the ER because they don't need parental consent, and she was worried because of how swollen his throat is. We left and he took me home and then he went home. His mom told him that if you don't respect me then you can pack your shit and live with her being me. I understand his mom being upset with him leaving and going to urgent care with me and then just getting a call asking for consent on a test, but at the same time it's her son and she should put his health over everything, and now I just feel like she hates me and I don't know what to do to make things better. My dad texted Ashton and told him we would take him to the ER right now, and Ashton said no because he would get kicked out of the house if he went, so we offered to take him tomorrow while his mom is at work, and he told me he doesn't want to go behind her back, which I understand, but I'm very worried for his health and I just want him to feel better. I've spent the last 2 nights with him taking care of him and I know how much pain he's in. I just don't know what else to do or how else to respond to this situation. And for our next post, am I the idiot for ruining my mother's dream to move overseas? I 19F currently live with my mom 52F and 3 sisters 15F, 21F, 31F, but my mom has made plans to move overseas in the next 6 months with my 3 sisters. She has wanted to move for years as the cost of living in our country is horrible, and she has nothing left here. Her parents passed away 2 years ago, and she is single. While I was originally going to stay here and rent the current place we live in with my older sister 31 and my BF 20, but my older sister has since decided that she wants to move with my mother, and that leaves me being unable to afford to live in our current house. I don't wish to leave as I have my whole life here. I just started my boyfriend and friends life here, and my dog wouldn't make the trip. I am unable to work currently as I am chronically ill and am unsure of how my body would react to both full-time study and work. I get government assistance of $210 weekly, which will be unable to cover rent for anywhere but a single room in a share house, but I won't be able to bring my dog. I am left in a position where I would have to financially rely on my BF more than I would like to and would be homeless if we ever broke up. I have brought these issues up to my mom and asked her for a bit more time until I qualify for student housing and can find a nice family to take my dog. However, everyone keeps saying that I am ruining this for her and that I should move overseas with them. She has dreamed of moving for years and is now able to, but especially since her health is degrading, she is losing time to move. Should I give in and leave everything behind, or do I stand my ground? Edit. I am unable to stay with any friends or relatives as none of them have any space for me or my dog. My mother is unable to provide much, if any, financial support as she is using a decent amount of her savings on moving and first week expenses. We are from Australia BTW. And for our next post, would I be the idiot if I boycott my cousin's wedding because of her lies and manipulative behavior? My cousin S and I were incredibly close since childhood, despite our 5-year age gap. We were confidants, or so I thought. Last July, S started dating A, and their relationship accelerated rapidly. A, recovering from a difficult breakup, seemed like a breath of fresh air. They decided to marry just 45 months into their relationship. Her parents initially opposed the match. I supported S, believing A was a good person. I'd even argued with her parents, and my mother S's aunt also fought for her within the family. S had lived with us for over a year during her studies, during a time of significant financial hardship. My mother showed her extraordinary care, arguably more than she demonstrated towards her own children. After months of drama, her parents finally blessed the marriage. Then S dramatically changed. She became self-absorbed, obsessing over her wedding while excluding everyone. It felt like she used our family to get what she wanted and then discarded us. During this period, 2 young family members passed away. In our culture, such losses typically mean avoiding celebrations for a year. S showed no emotional response and set her wedding date nearly 89 months after their deaths, an action many found extremely insensitive. Her behavior grew increasingly hurtful. She got engaged without inviting me or my mother, claiming it was a surprise despite numerous relatives and friends being present. She visited my city multiple times, deliberately avoiding including me. She scheduled her wedding the day before my brother's critical board exams, knowing he would need my study support. Her communication became manipulative. She'd send lengthy midnight messages portraying herself as struggling and lonely, repeatedly asking if I was upset. She changed her bachelorette venue last minute, ensuring I couldn't attend, and instead went out with friends. These actions made me feel she was more interested in maintaining a facade of closeness than genuinely being present in our relationship. Considering these circumstances, I've decided to skip her wedding. In Indian wedding culture, RSVP isn't standard, so I plan to make a last-minute excuse. Am I the idiot? And for our next post, am I the idiot H for not going to the cafeteria with my roommate, knowing that she won't eat without me? Okay, so first of all, here's some necessary info about this. I'm 15F, freshman in a boarding high school. I share a dorm with 2 roommates, one which I'm gonna call M and the other one S. We're all the same year. I have ARFID and I'm anemic, which causes me to be often low on energy. So like the title says, I'm not going to eat with her. M is always begging me to go and eat or just wait there for like 15 minutes. We have 3 meals every day, breakfast before our school which starts at 7:30 most of the time, lunch which is like right after school, and the dinner which is at 18:00. Usually, S goes with her, but she also has other friends so she often ends up not going with M. I do sometimes go with her, but it's just awkward because I can't really eat most of the things there because of my eating disorder, so I just take the tiny yogurt and wait there while she or they're eating. Most of the time when M asks me to go with her, I say no. I just don't have the energy to get ready and go be around people for 20 minutes while she's eating. She keeps asking many times, and my answer is pretty much always no, since I buy myself stuff I like at the store and I'm not hungry. M, on the other hand, doesn't have as much money, so she needs to eat at the cafeteria. Whenever I tell her to just eat without me, she says how she's embarrassed to go there alone. After begging me for a bit, she finally gives up and stops asking, but doesn't end up going to eat at all. But I'm starting to feel a bit, I don't know, bad. Like, she's not eating because of me basically. I don't know what to do. And for our next post, am I the idiot for telling my brother he is to pay if he wants me to do anything for him in the future? I 19F draw. In 2023 I noticed I make more $W furry art. Once I began learning to draw anthros, I made myself a fursona to help me practice. A year ago my lil bro 16M, who we'll call B, wanted to make one too for funsies. I posted lots of art of his sono on my Instagram since then wove issue. On my art accounts I use a name that isn't mine, Earl. I do this for my B's privacy. I've never mentioned B by name before. He's called brother and my followers are my own friends plus strangers. He's told me he doesn't want his friends to see my furry art. He's embarrassed and ashamed of it. I'm comfortable with what I do though and don't need validation from teens. B lives with my dad 3HRS away. None of our friends overlap, so my followers aren't a sign of mine B's identity. Only way to find my account is to search for it directly or be following my main, which is private, and finding info about it there. B's friends can't see my account unless he shows them or they are already following it, which means they would know what I draw and are okay with furry art. Yesterday B's bestie saw a post on my art dump Snapchat story which she joined of her own accord about how I became a furry artist, and today B's been ordering me to delete him from everything. He wants there to be no evidence of him on my Insta account in case his friend goes to snoop. He sent screenshots of posts he wanted edited, including one that wasn't even furry art, just an OC he'd made. I asked him why that one and he just insisted all evidence deleted. I argued that on all images of his Sona he's not named BTW. I have 3 bros, so brother doesn't even directly implicate him. And that on most posts the descriptions just mention how he made critical suggestions on what to draw. Whoa, any inclusion of the fact that the OCs are his. He said he told his bestie that he didn't know about the characters, so including him at all would get him in trouble. While arguing, I was still making the edits cause I do respect his privacy even if I think his reasoning is BS. I told him I deleted him but that next time he wants to order me around he has to pay me like everyone else. If he wants to make these demands and be the boss he has to hire me. He said, wow, so now you don't even respect if people want to be anonymous for personal reasons. That pissed me off. I told him that I do respect privacy and I have many people I mention using an alias for that very reason. What I don't appreciate is being ordered to go through a year's worth of posts and edit them because he's insecure and hateful. That up until now I had done all his art for free and I don't appreciate the bossy attitude and lack of respect for me. So again, if he wants that power, he can pay me for all future art just like everyone else. He thinks I'm being unreasonable that I'm wrong for posting about him to begin with, though he's never complained till now. Edit, I had his consent all along. He just freaked out and got demanding rude today. TL Dr. Bro bossed me around. I told him if he wants that privilege he needs to be a paying client. Am I the idiot? Alright, that's it for this one. If these stories made you smile or think, hit like and subscribe for more. Oh, and don't forget to share your own stories in the comments. I love hearing them. See you next time. It's Kathleen. See you all later.